targeted more than any other group. Nigeria has tried to play down Trump's threat, but says the U.S. must respect its sovereignty. Trump told reporters on Air Force One that he would not allow the large number of deaths to continue.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Good morning. I am so glad to be back. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to the show and welcome to Channel Africa. This is the right place to be if you are in search of the African perspective. And of course, we just had the morning team, Asanda Beta and Peter Ndoro, kickstarting our morning on Africa Rise and Shine. It's now 7 minutes past 9 Central Africa time, and it's time for On the Move with myself, Palesa and Benjami Moshatama, with you for the next 3 hours, giving you news, views, and entertainment from the African perspective. I've been gone for a while, almost 2 weeks, and I'm so glad to be back on air. It feels good.
Stop lying, Bali.
It feels good. I'm telling you, it feels
I'm
good.
sure
Benny.
you just want to be on holiday.
Did you miss me? I mean, holiday is great, but this is also good.
Don't lie. You
Did
don't want to
me,
be
Benji?
at work on a Monday after such a nice holiday.
Of course I do. Of course
I tried not to miss you, Bali. I'm not going to admit anything right now. I'm still sensitive.
Thanks for holding down the fort in the meantime.
Sure.
But yeah, we're back to regular programming and back to your two presenters instead of one. I missed you as well wherever you are. So come in, tune in, www.channelafrica.co.za, DSTV 802, OpenView 628, and the SABC Plus app is where you can tap in to listen to the show, but also in our various social media platforms as well. Going into the conversations of the day, starting off with our gender-based violence focus. This has, because of course, become a regular focus here on the show, but also on the station as a whole. And usually when we speak about gender-based violence, we focus a lot on the victim, as we should, because there are so many victims.
Yeah, sure.
But we don't realize that there actually is a lot of trauma that happens outside of that perspective, especially if you're looking at those who are close to the victims.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? How are those who are affected to someone maybe who's gone through a rape or someone who's gone through physical abuse or even a relationship abuse. Also, we forget that, if there is kind of even financial abuse in a relationship, the children could suffer in a big way in that environment as well. Yeah. So as GBV manifests in different ways, it affects not just the victim, but the people around that victim.
Yeah, online gambling and esports is on the rise, and we've been hearing so many headlines about the peaking dangers of that, especially when it comes to uncertain regulations around online gambling, esports, sports betting, and the likes. And that's going to be today's debate topic. We're asking, should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and esports as mainstream lifestyle industries for jobs and entertainment? So we'll be looking at two sides of that particular debate in our second hour.
Some people have it nice, right? While the rest of us are trying to lose weight, others are trying to gain weight.
Well, we think they have it nice, right? We think they do, but on the other side, they're like, you know what? This is actually very important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be talking about the other side of body goals, the struggle to gain weight and how to gain weight safely and build strength. There are those who are trying to build strength and resilience, and some of them are trying to do it for health reasons, so it should be a good one.
Absolutely. It's good to be back. Come through, join us, streaming live on our social media platforms, but all of them are available to you at Channel Africa 1. Let's go. It's time for On the Move.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine. Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge et Binal Sport depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Get set and be ready to go. On the move with Palesa and Benjamin Moshatama.
On a galéré, on pensait que j'allais pas valider. Moi personne ne croyait mais j'ai montré que malgré tout le moral est resté. J'ai rendu maman fière, j'ai rendu papa fier. Combien de fois j'ai voulu laisser, mais malgré tout le moral est resté. Mais aujourd'hui j'ai validé. On a lutté malgré les céphalées. J'enchaînais les soirées à UNB, mais à la fin les jaloux sont choqués. Mais aujourd'hui j'ai validé. On a lutté malgré les céphalées. J'enchaînais les soirées à UNB, mais à la fin les jaloux sont choqués.
Bachilio, ya yo, 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 Bachilio, ya yo. Tout a commencé dans l'ambiance. J'ai m'amusé et j'ai négligé. Le stress en classe, la pression en case. Prépa par-ci, des capis par-là. Mais malgré les obstacles, on a tous validé. Merci Seigneur encore pour cette réussite. Au nom du Père, du Fils et du Saint-Esprit. Bachelier, oh, ya, yo. Les frères sorciers ont médité ma défaite. L'histoire là m'ont dit que tu vas tout refaire. Vos paroles sans effet, vos actes sans effet. Maman a pleuré, elle m'a dit que ça va aller. Elle m'a dit que la défaite, il est temps de refaire, de pas être en retrait, se lever, ne pas laisser tomber, persévère dans la vie et Dieu est au contrôle pour la réussite. Bachelier, oh, ya yo, Bachelier, oh, ya yo, Bachelier, oh, ya yo, Bachelier, oh. C'est dur, c'est la boîte qui chauffe. Faut avoir le courage pour assumer.
Hey, that is Mamba Noir Bachelier with one titled Real Louis On. Music from Gabon.
Yeah, it's 9:15 Central Africa time. This is On the Move. And as usual, we start off with our gender-based violence focus on a Monday morning. Very important conversations that we need to have, not just here in South Africa, but all across the world. And when we speak about gender-based violence, we do focus a lot on the victim, as we should, because there are so many victims of gender-based violence. And this does cause a lot of trauma. But it is rarely when we speak about the harm that is caused by gender-based violence that we focus on those who are quite close to the victim themselves. I'm speaking about family members, children, friends, colleagues, whose lives are also changed profoundly when someone close to them experiences gender-based violence. So, they carry fear, they carry anger, confusion, guilt sometimes, and also the struggle of trying to help the victim who sometimes isn't in the right space to receive that help. So today we're looking at that, the impact of gender-based violence on those who are close to the victim, the emotional, social, and psychological toll that it takes on them as well. Joining us on the line is Denise Ngele Muli, who is a counseling psychologist, helping us unpack this. Denise, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Denise, it is hard conversations, to have about gender-based violence. And, we've spoken and unpacked quite a number of ways that victims are impacted by the harm caused around gender-based violence. But nobody really seems to care about those close to the victim themselves. And it seems like we don't really understand that trauma can be passed on to those who are close to the victims of gender-based violence. Do you care to explain to us how this is possible?
This is possible because they are there. They witness it, they hear it, and they see it. And it affects them emotionally, psychologically, physically, and even spiritually at some point, because they are close to these people. They are the people that they love, and they thought or think they love them back, yet they experience such things.
Yeah.
Especially on children.
Mm. And that's the thing, right? Yeah. I think if we're having this conversation, the first thought that comes to most of us is the children of those who are affected by gender-based violence. That on its own means gender-based violence to the children in most perspectives. But I want to move away from that a little bit because it seems quite obvious. And what isn't obvious is the other people in that person's lives. We take for granted our friends, our family members, and sometimes how they're impacted by the traumas of gender-based violence. There are so many instances that, many people can encounter where someone close to them, maybe a friend or a family member, a sister, is, going through gender-based violence. And you're constantly trying to say, hey, why don't you leave this person who's going through this? And then they come back to you and say, look, they harmed me again. They're doing this, they're doing that. And that emotional toll that person goes through, trying to assist, but not actually knowing how to, can be quite a precarious position for somebody to be in, isn't it?
Yes, it can. It can, because you become completely helpless. This is somebody that you're seeing is in pain, that she's not in a good relationship, that actually she's being battered, and not even that. Maybe it's not even physical. She or he might be being abused every day, being put down, being looked down upon, and it makes this person die bit by bit every day. Yet the person that is in that scenario, the victim herself or himself, doesn't see it, because at some point they get kind of crippled. They get so attached to this person, or love blinds them to a point that they think they cannot actually live without this person. They actually feel that their lives is not going to be complete without this person. Or again, this person could not be financially stable. And that is the biggest challenge that we have. The husband might not be financially stable, or the wife might not be financially stable. So they're thinking, if I leave, where am I going to start from? Especially for women. And I'm not being gender biased, but I have seen that this occurs mostly when it comes to women.
Well, Denise, we need to take a bit of a break. Sorry to halt you there. We'll continue on that one. We're speaking to Denise Ngele Muli, who's a counseling psychologist. It's 20 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. We'll continue to speak on the impact of GBV on those who are close to victims.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. gratitude begins with a story. Find yours on Channel Africa. Now streaming on our new website and mobile app. Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
Hey, we're speaking to Denise Ngele Muli, counseling psychologist. We've been doing this GBV focused for most of the year. We continue to speak on matters around GBV. It's a serious matter here in South Africa and many parts of the African continent. And today we're exploring the impact of gender-based violence on those who are close to the victims. It manifests itself emotionally, socially, financially, and even psychologically. So we'll continue this conversation with Denise. Denise, let's speak a little bit about also how, the abuse that happens in homes also can affect children. It can affect parents. It's not an easy situation at all. And sometimes the focus, as it should be, is on the victim. And sometimes we leave the children behind or the parents behind who might be also living in the same situation. But trauma doesn't just stay with the victim. It can also be passed on to those who are around the victim.
Yeah. You've mentioned parents. With parents, it's something that is a bit complicated because they get affected in this way. If this man or this woman walks out of their marriage, then there is this issue of shame that so-and-so's child's marriage didn't work. And maybe this person is somebody that is known in the society, or maybe has a cluster in the society, or it's somebody that people to say they don't even know how they explain it to people that their children's marriage didn't work. Not that it's necessary for you to explain to people what happened, but the society that we live in has made it its business to poke their noses in other people's business. And when a marriage doesn't work, then either you didn't bring up this child well, or she was just not good enough for the marriage. Maybe she didn't do that, or he didn't do that, or he did not provide for his family properly, or maybe he cheated. They don't really come to the point of there might have been abuse in that marriage. Mm-hmm. And it's sad because when it comes to the man being abused, it's normally hidden. And it's sad because, again, this man is the one that might be hiding it, that he's being abused by the wife, maybe physically, maybe mentally, maybe verbally. It's like it's a taboo for a man to come out and say, my wife is actually beating me up, or my wife calls me names, or my wife degrades me in front of my children or in front of our friends, because a man is a man in the African setting. A man should be a man. A woman should not tell him anything or be above him. But we find that there are some men who are actually abused by their wives, but they don't know how to come out. Yeah. And they don't even know how to say it loud to their friends.
Mm-hmm. And also the children, how do you think they get affected in this abusive environment?
Oh, it's sad because we normally think that children don't know what is going on, but they see it and they hear it and they feel it. When parents argue, or when one parent shouts at the other one, the child hears and she sees your facial expression, she sees your body reaction. And just because they're so helpless, they cannot help you, it kills them inside. It scares them. At some point, it makes them feel as if they are the cause of you two quarreling or fighting. And it affects them to a point that they detach from everything and everyone.
Yeah.
They have low self-esteem. And because they cannot actually talk to somebody else and tell them that mom is beating dad or dad is beating up mom. And that pain is too much. That pain has to come out at some point because our bodies cannot handle pain. It has to come out somehow. You find them self-harming themselves. I will call her Fatuma.
Yeah.
Fatuma's parents used to quarrel all the time. And she never used to talk about it. She never told anyone. And the only way that she could deal with that pain was she started cutting herself. She started self-harming herself to get rid of, so that she can feel that pain and for it to come out. And by the time the parents realized it, it was so far gone, she had to be taken to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Her grades went down, and then she started just locking herself in her room the whole day.
So there is quite a huge impact, right? There is quite a huge impact on those children who in turn are also experiencing the gender-based violence as well. You spoke earlier about the helplessness that people like friends or parents or even colleagues can feel when they're experiencing someone who is going through that gender-based violence. And someone might say, why are we even having this conversation? Because it's not about you. You're not the one facing the trauma. You're not the one facing this violence, and you want to make the subject matter about you. But let's speak about the realness of this impact, right? Being helpless, the realness of the impact of helplessness when trying to help someone that means a lot to you as well, but seeing them going through something that you can't exactly pull them out of. What are the psychological impacts of that?
You find that this person becomes kind of hopeless, for lack of a better word. At their workplace, their work performance starts going down, which affects the economy per se, because there's no performance at work. Psychologically, she feels or he feels he's not good enough, or she's not good enough, or this friend or this family member can't get the words or the means to get them out, because at some point the society might say that you are the one who actually got in the midst of them. You are the one who broke that marriage because maybe you advised him or her this way, and you are not there as per se when these things were happening. So it leaves you completely helpless, because if you say this and this person actually takes the steps and gets out of the house, it will fall back on you. That maybe you are not for the marriage in the first place. And if it's a woman that advised a fellow woman, something might come up of maybe she wanted the husband. It's just messed up. And again, there's no way you can tell somebody to come out, not unless they make that decision themselves.
All right.
They have to come to that point.
All right, we've run out of time, Denise, unfortunately. Just as we wrap up in 30 seconds, what do you think should be prioritized by those who are close to the victim?
Make them very aware of what is going on.
Yeah.
And let them know that it's never that serious. Life has to go on. If this person died this minute, your life has to go on. Your life will continue. So that means if you walk out, your life will still go on. You don't have to die in that marriage. You don't have to kill yourself to make you somebody happy. And again, shame has never killed anyone. You will feel that shame for some time, and then it's going to wear off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to think about yourself. You have to love yourself enough to walk away from something that is hurting you, that is killing you.
Sure. Denise, we have to leave it there. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Denise, where can people find you online? Where can they go to get more information of some of the work that you do?
Unfortunately, I'm not yet online.
Okay,
I just
cool.
got my certificate and license recently.
Okay, cool.
But they can get me anytime. I have a platform called In Your Shoes.
Okay.
Denise Nkelemuli, that I talk about a lot of things. I touch on things about life.
Okay.
They can find me there on Facebook.
Fantastic. That's Denise Nkelemuli, counseling psychologist, helping us on our GBV focus. What do you think on that one? WhatsApp us on
Thank
plus
you,
27
Palesa.
63 406 9126. Let's quickly move on right now. It's time for us to get our weekend sports updates.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good morning from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So the New York City Marathon made history on Sunday with a course record set in the women's competition and the closest race ever on the men's side, which was decided by a fraction of a second. So Helen Obiri of Kenya broke the women's record, while compatriot Benson Kibruto won the men's race after edging Alexander Mutiso by 300ths of a second. Kibruto as well as Mutiso separated themselves from the chase pack in the men's race heading into the 24th kilometer. Now, Kibruto was also running the New York Marathon for the very first time, finishing in a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Obiri was also, also has won this race and did so back in 2023, finished in a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes and 51 seconds. She was running with 2022 winner Sharon Lokedi until Oberi pulled away from her countrywoman in the final kilometer, surging ahead and winning easily in 16 seconds to best the previous course record of 2 hours, 22 minutes and 31 seconds set by Margaret Okayo back in 2003. On to summer cricket news now. South Africa's Proteas women's coach Mandla Mashimbi has made a bold claim that they will win the World Cup in the near future, following a final heartbreak last night as they fell short of a historic victory. They'll have to wait a few more years to try again after they lost to the tournament co-hosts India by 52 runs at the DY Patil Sports Complex in Navi Mumbai in front of a packed and a partisan crowd. Now, Captain Laura Wolfhard scored another century in a valiant 299 run chase, but was once she was dismissed by when she was on 101 runs. The writing was pretty much on the wall, and Coach Mandla Mashimbi explained her importance in the team.
Laura has shown a great deal of fortitude in terms of our mental fortitude and in terms of talent and in terms of how she led the team as well. And she's also grown in this tournament, and that's why I'm saying going forward this team will be even better, will be even stronger. The tight unit will be even stronger as well. So yeah, I've got no doubt, in the next World Cup we'll give it a good go.
As Mandla Mashimbi has also emphasized all tournament long, he says a happy environment within the group has been what has gotten them as far as the finals of this year's tournament. He also says he's identified the areas that need strengthening when they return home to make sure they come back even stronger in the next World Cup.
When people are happy in an environment, they're able to do what these girls have done this whole tournament. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding with regards to that in terms of the performances that the girls have put on throughout the tournament as well. But at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. We just have to accept and grow and learn from it and make sure that when we come back and we get another crack at it, we give it a real good go at it.
On to football news now. Erling Haaland scored twice to help Manchester City move to second position on the Premier League table with a 3-1 victory over Bournemouth yesterday. So Haaland's astonishing scoring record is showing no sign of slowing down, with his 2 first-half strikes either side of Tyler Adams' equaliser and followed by Nico O'Reilly's third, taking his tally to 13 in 10 games this season and just 2 away from 100 league goals. The goal-scoring machine celebrated his first strike with a robot celebration, but was denied the chance of a hat-trick when he was substituted in the final 10 minutes, with his Man City total now standing at 141 goals in 159 appearances. And finally, Canada's Victoria Mboko clinched her second WTA career singles title yesterday after outlasting Christina Buska over a 3-set battle in Hong Kong. In that final, the 19-year-old seeded third at this year's tournament forced the first break of the match in the 6th game to lead 4-2, only for her opponent to pull it back 3 games later. Now, the Spaniard was broken again in the 12th game, though, and lost the set 7-5, but the world number 68 saved the match point in the second set tiebreaker on the way to taking it 11-9. Mboko tamed her opponent's serve in the opening game of the deciding set, though, and also broke her opponent once more in the 7th game before serving out a 7-5, 6-7, 6-2 victory with after 2 hours and 51 minutes on court. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to send us an email. That's to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or call us as well on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibu Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC.
Thank you, Musibudi, for that sports update. Let's move on and get our latest business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning. The South African rand edged higher in early trade today ahead of the release of a local manufacturing purchasing managers index PMI survey and vehicle sales numbers for the month of October. Earlier, the rand traded at 17 rand 29 cents against the dollar, roughly up 0.2% on Friday's close. The ABSA PMI print is set to be released today and will shed light on manufacturing conditions in Africa's most industrialized economy. Economist Dr. Azar Jamin says that small businesses are finding it extremely difficult to secure capital. South Africa experienced another spike in business liquidations in September. There was a 23.9% increase in the number of businesses closing down. Dr. Jamin says that big businesses get more support, which contradicts government's goal to boost small businesses.
There is indeed a complete divergence between the oft-stated desire to promote entrepreneurship and small business activity, partly because small businesses proportionately create far more jobs than do big businesses. But in reality, we find that there are huge obstacles to small businesses actually succeeding. And one of these is the fact that they find it extremely difficult to access capital, to borrow money.
In other news, the legal battle between the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, SERI, and South Africa's city of Johannesburg is set to continue in the High Court today. The matter relates to the removal of unregistered informal traders from parts of the city centre. The parties met at the court on Friday but failed to reach an agreement, resulting in the matter being postponed. The city started removing informal traders who it says are operating illegally and in areas not designated for trading. However, traders have accused the city of violating their rights to earn a decent living, and Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero says Home Affairs needs to verify informal traders before they can be allocated new operating spaces.
The city has a strong case, and we believe that the proposals that we presented to SERI, which the judge also requested that we submit to him, are likely to form part of the judgment because they are fair, they're genuine, and the intention is really, firstly, to ensure that we strengthen informal trading by ensuring that it's in the right places, in safe places, in designated areas, so that the city can give them the support through its programs.
In East Africa, prices for basic commodities have shot up in Tanzania following days of election-related unrest, with fuel prices tripling. President Samia Suluhu Hassan was declared the winner of Wednesday's poll, which the opposition described as a mockery of democracy. The BBC's Akesa Wandera has the details.
Tanzanians are now paying more for basic goods as the country reels from protests that began on Wednesday. Many fuel stations remain closed, especially in the commercial capital, Dar es Salaam. Some believe the shortages are deliberate, aimed at limiting movement and preventing protesters from mobilizing. Shops and markets remain closed in some areas, and food prices have soared for those lucky enough to find supplies. The military remains deployed in several parts of the country where tensions are still high. Movement is restricted and much of the country remains in the dark following an internet and electricity blackout.
Heineken has pledged to bolster its revenue and cut costs, but investors in the world's number 2 beer maker say tougher steps, including plant closures, may be needed to get its business up to speed. CEO Dolf van den Brink, at the helm of the $45 billion brewer since 2020, has two key challenges, according to investors and analysts, which include delivering greater efficiency while reviving flagging volume growth. While all brewers have been struggling to sell more beer, the Dutch maker of Amstel and Tiger beers has frustrated some investors with volatile performance and for lagging behind larger rivals. Now let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,436 naira. In Botswana, 13 pula 70. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 20. Zambia, 22 kwacha 8. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 38. In Russia, 79 rubles 55. India, 80 rupee 80. China, 71.12. South Africa, 17 rand 31 cents. $1 is 76 pence to the British pound and 87 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,999, platinum at $1,588 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $65.09 a barrel. That's all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Where Africa's voices rise, with stories that matter, we lead the conversation.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Kutoka Kwale hadi Kampala, mwendo wa joka sio haraka. kutoka Kisumu hadi Kisauni, joka linanyonya nyinyi wahuni, linatambaa kutoka Kwale hadi Kampala, mwendo wa joka sio haraka, moyo kutoka Kisumu hadi Kisauni, joka linanyonya nyinyi wahuni, linatambaa linatambaa ile gari la moshi, linasafisha rezabu, linakausha hali, linawabwaga wahuni huku Nairobi, kambi ya utumwa. Kutoka Kwale hadi Kampala, mwendo wa joka sio haraka, kutoka Kisumu hadi Kisauni, huku Nairobi, kambi ya utumwa.
A beautiful one by Eric Wanaina. This one is titled Joka. You tuned in to Channel Africa. Of course, this is where you get that African perspective. It's 9:50 Central Africa time. We'll be back after this.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Stay tuned to Channel Africa. Stream us on our new and updated website, channelafrica.co.za. Start your day right with Channel Africa Breakfast.
That smells delicious.
Live, 5 days a week.
Oh yeah, bust down, bizarre, loud. I'm a logo, die. Cash money, I'm a yummy job. Young Suki, I'm a no day dog. Okali Kushiru, good past 90, my jet on. Sometimes me, I pray to the Lord. That will be done in my life, with the job. Many things I know fit up. Money fits me, I don't wanna be poor. I'm a yummy, I know me. When you go by, they grab for my body like Scooby. I just don't pay for me, question. Sending my mom, cause I'm saburi. Boxing, you shit like me. Adura, oh yeah, bust down, bizarre, I'm a logo, Adura, oh yeah, bust down, bizarre, I'm a logo, I want to take care of you, Kana. If you no be Messiah, bound you must be $500,000 sire. Milk cara, milk cana, and got to Jimmy to do every willy Maya. You don't be money, Apumaka, perfect me, Marama, Barao Bouncer. You bless it, go shit for Mole. Pavati Babi, when you go somewhere your bed. She love got telling the Sion Toroke. Once beat it twice, shot, all up on a lot. Say, if you choose that drug, I go take you overdose. Go away and Japurata, Timaro Bulon, Pampe, agent, loan them my zone. The credit a lot, I want to see for my phone. Adura, oh yeah, bust down, bizarre, I'm a logo, Adura, oh yeah, bust down, bizarre, I'm a logo, when you white there, fuck, we like me, pata, be like this. Maluto, ni Uluwa, Lumbaleshi. I'm a video, Uluwa, don't show. A big barry, one kill a break, when you pay, don't you tell me more, para, this celeb. Àwọn òbí wọn ni mo lọ sẹ̀lẹ̀. Ikú padà ẹ̀ tí mo ti yẹ̀ kẹ́. Pé mo wọnú parí, alọ́jà iṣẹ́ ń gẹ́. Èmi láì mi ọlọ́pàá mi ò lè sẹ́ńpẹ́ o. Nínú pàṣẹ mo máa jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kẹlẹ́gbẹ́ kò máa mẹ́gbẹ́ o. Kọ́rẹ́ rí má padà dọ̀rẹ́ lẹ́gbẹ́. Ẹ ṣe inú sínú ibà ìbò. Mo kàn tí kò sí ọmọ sí ní pé kí n kárí go. Fún wọn ní gbẹ̀rí tó dùn. Gbẹ̀rí tó dùn pé kí ká ẹ̀kọ́ àtẹ̀bá ìbò. Àdúrà àgbà owó yẹn àwà. Bust down, bizarre, àwà. Logo down. Adura, oh yeah,
It's Bust Down, Zlatlan featuring Asake. This is On the Move right here on Channel Africa. Having a serious conversation for today's gender-based violence focus. And a lot of people do go through this. Just thinking about the numbers of gender-based violence itself, right? Big numbers that continue to rise. That means that there are so many people that are affected that are in close proximity to the victims of gender-based violence. And I mean, I know it's very real, and I know quite a number of people who've been close to victims of gender-based violence, especially, you know, women who are in abusive relationships in particular, which is hard because they stay in these abusive relationships. And when you love someone, you want the best for them. You don't want to see them hurt. You don't want them to see them going through that. And sometimes what people think can be quite a big mistake is to say to someone, yeah, why don't you leave this person? You know, come live with me then. I'll take care of you. You know, I'm trying to help you. Why aren't you listening? And it can be so hard to sort of separate yourself from the thing that person is going through and how you feel about it, because you care about them. You don't want to see them hurt. But there is, like, you know, our guest said, that helplessness of trying to remove someone from a situation that they're not ready to get out of.
Yeah, I've seen some people actually frustrated in that situation, maybe you're trying to tell a sibling, like, get out of this relationship, and also kind of, because there's a resistance from the victim to end the relationship, you see a sibling relationship even coming to an end.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. What happens most of the time, those relationships deteriorate systematically, right? Because the perpetrator will at times separate the victim from their loved ones.
True.
Because they want to control either the narrative or control the situation.
So it is quite a hard position to be in. I mean, it goes without saying that children of the victims of gender-based violence are the victims themselves, you know. And I don't want to separate the two. I don't want to say, you know, the children are someone that are close to the victims. The children of victims of gender-based violence are victims themselves of gender-based violence, which is a completely different story than a friend who's trying to help you, or a sister or a brother or a mother or a father. Children are, you know, victims too. So that is exactly the same conversation. You know, those who are close to the children are also close to the victims of gender-based violence. Parents, like we said earlier, right? We still put so much shame. That's the reason why some of these things continue in our societies. We still put so much shame to the ending of marriages, the ending of relationships, and some parents actually sometimes, you know, feel bad for having to now have to explain to other people, oh, this is why my son is back home. This is why my daughter is getting a divorce. This is why this or that other. And sometimes they're also trying to shield and protect their loved ones while trying to shield and protect their dignity too, because a lot of that in our African societies is also put on their parents, right? They say your marriage is not just your own, it's, you know, your marriage with your family. And so parents bear a lot of burden, especially if they see or recognize the abuse that's taking place in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the kids, the fact that the kids are right in the middle of an abusive environment means that they are being abused as
themselves,
well, you know, because if you are watching your mother being abused, it is a form of abuse for you, because it sends a lot of trauma into your system, your physical system, your mental system. But most importantly, gender-based violence perpetrators don't just abuse the woman, right?
No.
They are also physical with their kids at times.
Or emotionally abusive, etc. So that's why I'm like,
but I think if you hit your wife, you're definitely hitting your kids sometimes.
Absolutely.
It happens more often.
More often than not, right? So you're right. You know, victims, I mean, children around the victims of gender-based violence are abused themselves. And that's why I said they are the victims themselves. It's very different from the kind of conversation we're having when we say, who are the people who are close to the victims that are being impacted? The children themselves are the victims themselves. So they are, you know, really outside of this particular conversation. And we've had another conversation on children and gender-based violence on this gender-based violence focus. So go and check out our podcast. I think it's a great way to also keep up with the conversations that we've had throughout this gender-based violence focus and the conversations that we'll keep having, because sometimes you can refer back and say, hey, what do you mean when you say the children are victims? We've had another conversation on this very feature speaking about children and gender-based violence. So you can go back there and listen to that particular conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving into the second hour of the show. So definitely we're going to have a great experience today as we navigate our debate in the African View. And we always love the African View because it always creates a platform where you get different opinions of one subject matter. So it's like a real head-on debate. So we're going to be having that in the second hour, and it's going to be fantastic. Also, remember, interact with us on our socials because you can be part of that conversations. Really check out the conversations happening via our X handle at Channel Africa 1 is the handle. Hey, subscribe to us and just be part of that platform so you can be updated on some of the conversations that are happening while we are having these on-air discussions at Channel Africa 1 on X as we move into our the Africa View debate. Be part of the Channel Africa family. Hey, we're moving into the second hour of the show. Let's start off with the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Looking at your top stories, African Commission on Human Rights and People's Rights monitoring the situation in Tanzania, and flight delays are affecting airports across the United States. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. The African Commission on Human Rights and People's Rights says it is following with deep concern the human rights situation that is unfolding in Tanzania following the October 29th general election. In a statement, the Commission expressed worry over reports of widespread turmoil following a series of post-election protests. Hundreds of people, are feared dead following consecutive days of unrest. The director for the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Affairs at SADC Secretariat, Professor Kula Ismail Teletane, explains.
You are correct. We observe, as I have told you, we don't only observe elections during the polling day, we observe elections way before that and even past the announcements of the results. Yes, those are the things that we observed. And as I have stated to you, they will come out in the report. They are there in the report that will be released. And I think the report should be the preliminary report. Remember, Peter, normally we release preliminary report 2 days after the elections, but given the challenges that we experienced in Tanzania, that could not happen. So the report will now be released online. I think today it should be out.
Allegations of South Africa's embattled police minister Senzo Mchunu presidential ambitions and the Hawks' interference in police investigations are under the spotlight at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. The commission is continuing its hearing in Pretoria this morning. Various witnesses involved in investigating businessman and murderer accused Takiso TK Molefe will take the stand this week. An operation to arrest Molefe took place in Sandhurst, Johannesburg in December last year. He was arrested for the murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. Sebastian Mota reports.
Various witnesses have taken to the stand at the Madlanga Commission to testify about the takedown operation of murder accused Katiso KT Molefe. The testimonies of witnesses A, B, and Captain Maxwell Wanda, a former member of the PKTT, have corroborated with each other. All three have testified about how members of the Hawks allegedly tried to interfere with investigative operations at Molefe's home.
South Africa's former African National Congress Party President Thabo Mbeki says factionalism and careerism in the party are the biggest threats to its survival. Mbeki has called for complete renewal of all party members, including reapplication for membership and stricter vetting of leaders across all provinces. He says there are anti-revolutionary forces within the party and that changes must begin at branch level.
The issue then that is raised about renewal becomes very critically important in terms of the survival of the movement. And in a sense takes priority over everything else. Because without this instrument, the ANC, we're unable to solve any of our problems. Not a single major problem we solve without this organization called the ANC. Properly organized, ethical, strong, and all of that.
Lastly, Stellenbosch University will host 2 Nobel Literature laureates this week. South African author J.M. Kotza and Tanzanian novelist Abdul Razak Guna for the fifth symposium in the Nobel in Africa series. The symposium at the Stellenbosch Institute for Advanced Studies will today gather around 50 of the world's leading scholars and writers in African literature. Rector and Vice-Chancellor Professor Duresh Ramjugannath says Kotze and Guna will deliver the Africa Writes the World lecture.
This is the only institution outside Scandinavia to host a Nobel Symposium on behalf of the Nobel Foundation. The hosting of this auspicious symposium, which brings together some of the greatest minds in the world, shows that Stellenbosch University is not just a university in Africa, but a university for Africa. It gives us a unique opportunity to showcase Africa's advanced research and scholarship and to promote excellence and collaboration with the rest of the world.
Flight delays are affecting airports across the United States as the government shuts down continues into a second month. There were disruptions yesterday for travelers in New York, Texas, and Chicago. More than 10,000 air traffic controllers have been working without pay throughout the shutdown, but some are choosing to call in sick. The BBC's Peter Bowers.
Potentially, it could be the longest shutdown, and the impact is really being felt now across the country, especially by travellers. This is affecting airports right across the country, and it seems that as every day goes by, that situation is getting worse because more and more air traffic controllers who are government workers forced to go to work without pay, they are becoming fatigued, and it is affecting them in terms of stress and sometimes trying to do the jobs of two people when they are at work, and many of them are calling in sick.
Recapping on your top stories, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights says it is following with deep concern the human rights situation that is unfolding in Tanzania following the October 29th general election. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinsi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Onele. It's time for us now to move into the African View, which is our debate feature. We love debating on a Monday. Do you think it's the right day to be debating, right? I think, yeah,
I think
starting
it's
on
the
a good
right
note.
day. You
Yeah.
should start on a good note, right? Bring in a contentious issue to get, those emotions high the first day of the work week.
All right, today we are speaking, should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and esports as a mainstream lifestyle industry? Give us your thoughts on that one. Remember, you can participate online on our X handle at Channel Africa 1 and give us your thoughts on there. Or you can WhatsApp us +27 63406 9126. We're going to get both sides of this big question.
Yeah, we have the On The Move poll up on that same X handle that Ben just mentioned at Channel Africa 1 on X. We're asking you the question on X. Online gambling and esports are booming across Africa. Should governments fully legalize and regulate them as mainstream industries? The options we give you there are yes, regulate and tax. Legal but limit access. So legalize it but limit the access. Keep it restricted, or only esports allowed. So those are the four options we give you in today's On The Move poll. You can participate on the African View debate, because this is not just a debate between our guests, but a debate for you as well. At Channel Africa 1, stream us live on Facebook and stream us live on YouTube as well. We'd love to have you.
Roach Beats.
Early mama on your phone, I they call, baby. 247, maybe you, I they want, baby. While I know yawa for you, baby. Chai pack well and balance well for me. Baby, baby, oh baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby, oh baby. Baby, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh baby. Baby, baby, oh baby. Chai back well and balance well for me.
I want you to pull me closer, baby. Oh, miss you, I can't lie. We don't build love where distance no fit corrupt. No yawa, oh, baby, tell me no yawa, oh. Back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, I know say things no balance, but you don't try for me. Yeah, yeah, and I go give you joy, cause I know strong man go there for me.
Yeah, good for you. Don't go give you story. Wanna give you story now. So back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, baby, baby, oh baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a hit with all the right artists in it. Davido, Tiwa Savage and Burna Boy. This one is titled Baby, taking us to 10 past 10 Central Africa time.
Every voice matters. Every moment counts. Celebrate life with Channel Africa. The African perspective. Now in your pocket.
Vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za. The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's divine voice, isn't it? I love it. That is Malay with one titled Chimsoro. It's 15 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. You're listening to Channel Africa, giving you news, information, entertainment from an African perspective. Let's get into the African view. Every Monday, we always debate a matter, and it's always fun to see the different sides on which a question can be seen. And today, we're looking at online gambling and esports. Across the continent, we know the industry is rapidly transforming from fringe activities into major lifestyle industries, with millions of people in particular engaging through mobile devices. These sectors present more opportunities now, and also there's serious challenges. The question today for the Africa View debate, we're asking, should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and e-sports? And helping us on this one, we've got Mongezi Tolesmo Mahlangu, who is a gaming entrepreneur, and also we joined on this conversation by Charlotte Nguna, who is a managing director and specialist wellness counselor. Let me start with you, Mongezi. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. And I'd like to say greetings to everybody that's listening throughout the continent of Africa.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about your answer to this question. Should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and esports?
Excuse me, can you please repeat your question? There seems to be a noise in the background.
Okay, I'm also getting a bit of a feedback from you. I'm not quite sure why, but I was just asking you, what's your response to that question? Should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and esports?
Definitely should be regulated. First and foremost, I'd like to state the difference between what esports and gaming is. All right. First and foremostly, the word gaming belongs to actual gaming, which is playing on consoles, which is playing digitized games, which is playing board games. That's what gaming is originally.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the word gambling then became a word that was, how can I say, stereotyped, in the sense that it's no longer a good word that comes off the tongue, especially on the marketing and selling point of gambling. So they converted the word gambling into adult gaming. And when that happened, there was a major confusion between what is esports and what is gaming. So when your child says, "No, mom, I'm gaming," automatically they think that they are gambling.
Sure.
And when we say we're doing esports, they have no idea as to what is electronic sports. So we really had a major fight when it came to South African gaming companies registering themselves on CIPC, because you couldn't register your company as Tam Gaming or Sizagale Gaming, because that gaming word was then required for you to have a gambling license for you to register a gaming company.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the big gaming companies we have in South Africa, like Zamani Gaming, which is responsible for Ituba, which handles the gambling processes for the National Lottery, they have taken upon that name and have got a gambling license. That's why they can go commercial with the word Zamani Gaming. But then with us, we had to go to the National Gambling Board and get clarification. I've sent you the document, which is stated by the director of the National Gambling Board, that states that gaming and esports are completely two different entities. And esports has nothing to do with gambling. However, there is money that you win on the outcome of that particular tournament, just like soccer, just like rugby, just like any other sport. We don't take away the fact that, yes, there are people who take opportunity to gamble around the outcome within our esports tournaments.
Right.
But that is not our line of business.
Okay, let's come to you, Charlotte. We love to just open this debate and find out where you stand as well. Where do you stand on today's debate? Charlotte, are you there? Okay, it seems like we've lost Charlotte off the line. We're going to take a quick break, Toliasmo, and stay with us while we bring in Charlotte back into the conversation. Today's debate topic is, should African governments legalize and regulate online gambling and esports as mainstream lifestyle industries for jobs and entertainment? Where do you stand in this particular conversation? Our On The Move poll is up on our X handle as well, where you can participate and have your say. We're asking you that same question, and the options we give you are: yes, you should regulate and tax, you should legalize but limit access, you should keep it restricted, or only esports should be allowed. Go there at Channel Africa 1 on X.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Kapele Mutachu tunaelezwa kwamba waziri wa zamani wa polisi Mbekisele ameanza kutoa ushahidi wake mbele ya kamati ya bunge. Pengine namna ambavyo anaelezea na kutoa ushahidi wake, hii ikoje na imekaje? Hali hii ambavyo ilivyo hivi sasa inaleta picha gani kwa raia wa Afrika Kusini?
Hii hali inaleta picha nzuri, kwanza inaonyesha kama usalama wa nchi hauko kwenye njia nzuri. Wakati wale wenyewe wanapewa nafasi ya kufanya ulinzi wa nchi na ulinzi wa raia, wanakwenda kukamatwa na wenyewe kuwa miongoni ya watu wenyewe wanakwenda tena kuziwia wala kuprotect maalifu. Inaleta hali mbaya ndani ya nchi kuhusu usalama kwanza wa nchi peke yake, usalama wa raia.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Keeping you on the know and on the move.
It's an interesting one because there's so many ways that the online world has opened up. It's also opened up really new divisions of gambling all across the continent and the world over. So online gambling has become quite popular. Esports has also become quite popular, as we've heard from our first guest, Mongezi Tolesmo Mahlangu, saying, hey, this is something completely different from gambling, but it is seen and regulated as such. However, there's also sports betting, which has become quite big on today. In fact, sports betting has been seen quite a huge, seemingly troubling trend here in South Africa, with the increased number of teenagers engaging in online gambling through sports betting. We continue this debate from both of our guests. Charlotte Nkuna is also part of this particular conversation, who is the managing director and specialist wellness counselor. Charlotte, let's hear your thoughts and opening lines on today's debate.
Thank you so much for having me. My opening line would be that, gambling in any form, whether it's online, whether it's, on a physical facility, the risks are the same. And with today's teenagers being, exposed to so many, different online platforms, we cannot argue that the risk for addiction is higher. And that is something that we really have to take into consideration, in as much as, we can see the fourth industrial revolution coming in. What then does it mean with regards to also, the high stats of addiction that we are seeing, with many, young people having to be admitted to rehab even before they reach the age of 18 because they are now addicted, to esports or online sports betting. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's come back to you, Tolesmo. As you heard, there is a huge problem that we seemingly are dealing with here in South Africa and all across the African continent, where younger people are getting into gambling and perhaps, esports or sports betting being an entry level to something that could be potentially harmful and addictive. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely disagree. First and foremost, I couldn't hear what Charlotte was saying. I don't know if she's on the same line as me. But what I can say is that first and foremost, it's incorrect to treat esports like a gateway drug to gambling.
Yeah.
First and foremost, the esports is about competitive nature. It's almost like saying that playing soccer is dangerous because it's going to lead to gambling. First and foremost, when it comes to esports, these kids are professionals at what they do. They train like any other sports professional. They have tournaments, they have matches, they have boot camps and so forth. And they also participate obviously in tournaments online and physically as well. Now, when it comes to sports betting, now in the world of esports, we do have betting on the outcomes of the games. But then in South Africa, it's not something that is really kicking off as such because of the lack of how can I say, the multitude of these tournaments that are available compared to soccer and rugby tournaments. Now, the problem with online betting is that kids are able to get into these online betting portals even though they don't have the correct identification or the right age to participate in these things. And it's all up to the parents as well to actually to know as to what is it that their kids are getting up to on their cell phones.
Mhm.
But I'd really like to say that esports is not a gateway drug to gambling.
hmm Charlotte, do you agree with that? Do you think that it's fair what Mongi's is saying there? Because if parents don't know how these kids are navigating this e-gaming environment, how would they even regulate whether they're doing it a little bit too much or maybe it's becoming something that's of a danger to them? What's your take to the response of Mongezi there?
I'm sorry, I am not able to hear him at all from my end. If you could just give me the key points of what he was saying.
I can't hear her response.
All right, let's see if we can sort that out, because it'll be important for you guys to hear each other on the responses itself. But Mongezi was basically saying, Charlotte, is the fact that, the regulation is something that's important, because it would probably create more opportunities for kids to actually be on the systems kind of in a way that is responsible, because they are responsible with their gaming patterns. But it's also important for parents themselves to make sure how these children are also navigating esporting and gaming. And it's coming back to the idea whether it's an addiction or not.
Okay, no, thank you for that. I think what I am very skeptical of from my side, being in the addiction space, right, is that there's a reason why children are not even allowed to gamble until they reach the age of 18. And this is often even a pattern that we see when they are exposed to gaming too much, right? It's that the reward patterns in the brain get so overstimulated such that by the time that they reach the age of 18, if they've started to gamble before they've reached the age of 18, their risk of addiction is much higher, thus then exposing them to developing addiction earlier as compared to an adult who started gambling at the age of 20 and onwards, right? So, and I mean, with regulation, let's look at even the current regulations that are put in place currently, in terms of online and physical betting. There are so many loopholes within our regulation, such that when you look at options such as what we call self-exclusion, self-exclusion is when somebody says, what, I've been gambling too much, I now want to stop gambling, so I would like for the betting operator to exclude me from being able to participate in that. And when they now go to self-exclude, you find that they exclude in one betting operator, but they're still allowed to gamble elsewhere. So that regulation on its own is not effective when it comes to trying to assist someone who sees that they're on the verge of developing an addiction, or that they're already addicted, and they can't stop themselves. So saying that now regulating will actually protect the kids in a way, I think it's a long shot. And with the current regulations not even enforcing what we would like to see from a wellness perspective. So I believe that in as much as it is economically viable, and that is because you have a lot of punters or gamblers who are exposed to addiction such that they spend all of their money, they spend their life savings gambling, and then we say it's a viable industry, but now the emotional wellness of it, the mental health aspect of it is not being taken care of. And this is why we see that there's such a high rise in addiction, because in as much as people doing sports betting, the statistics are higher that they are engaging in that form of esports, but also the addiction rate is going higher.
Well, Charlotte and Monges, we have to leave it there. I think you guys have both strong points on this particular matter, equally powerfully strong views, right? And I hope that you guys were able to hear each each other, but unfortunately, because of our technicalities, you couldn't. But the debate actually went well. Despite that, you guys gave us very strong viewpoints, and we'll have to leave it there. Thank you to our guests for giving us their time. That's Mongezi Twales Mo, who is a gaming entrepreneur. We're also joined by Charlotte Nguna, who's a managing director and specialist wellness counselor, on that conversation. If you want to be part of that conversation, find it on at Channel Africa 1 on X, where we're asking the same question: should governments fully legalize and regulate esports and online gambling? We've got 4 options there. First option is yes, regulate plus tax. Second option is legal but limit excess. And then third option is keep it restricted. And then fourth option is only esports allowed. Let us know what you think on today's debate. At Channel Africa 1 is the handle on X. Let's move on right now. Musibudi Makura is joining us with the sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. A very good morning once again from the sports test. So the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has confirmed the draw procedures for the group stages of the Total Energies CAF Champions League, as well as the CAF Confederation Cup for the season 2025-2026, with the ceremony set to take place today in Johannesburg, right here in South Africa. Now, 16 clubs have advanced from the second preliminary round and will be engaged in the official group stage draw that will be divided into 4 groups of 4 teams. The teams have been seeded based on their performances in CAF interclub competitions for over the past 5 years. So just looking at the teams that have now qualified for the group stages from a CAF Champions League point of view, there's Al Ali of Egypt, Al Hilal of Sudan, Esperance from Tunisia, FAR Rabat of Morocco, JS Kabylie of Algeria, Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa, MC Algiers of Algeria, Petro de Luanda of Angola. There's also Power Dynamos of Zambia, Pyramids FC, the defending champions from Egypt, Rivers United from Nigeria, RS Bagan from Morocco, Simba from Tanzania, Stade Milan from Mali, Saint Elulu Popo from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Then there's also Young Africans from Tanzania. So the teams that have qualified for the group stages of the CAF Confederation Cup are Zamalek from Egypt, Wydad Casablanca from Morocco, USM Alger of Algeria, CR Belouizdad of Algeria, Stellenbosch FC from South Africa. There's also Al Maestri of Egypt, Al Menema Union from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Jobalia AC de Damako of Mali, Kaiser Chiefs from South Africa, Ayos Otono from the Central African Republic, FC San Pedro from Cote d'Ivoire, Nairobi United from Kenya, Olympic Club de Safi from Morocco, Azam FC from Tanzania, Singida Black Stars from Tanzania, and then Zesco United rounding off the 16 teams from Zambia. On to some cricket news now. South Africa's Proteas women's coach Mandla Mashimbi has made a bold claim that they will win the World Cup in the near future, following a final heartbreak last night as they fell short of a historic victory. They have to wait for the next 4 years to try again after they lost to tournament's co-host India by 52 runs at the DY Patel Sports Complex in Navi, Mumbai, in front of a packed crowd in the ODI Women's World Cup final. The captain, Nora Wolfart, scored another century in a valiant 299-run chase, but once she was dismissed for 101 runs, the writing was pretty much on the wall, and Coach Mandla Mashimbi explained the importance of Laura to this Proteas women's setup.
You know, Laura has shown a great deal of fortitude in terms of our mental fortitude and in terms of talent and in terms of how she led the team as well. And she's also grown in this tournament, and that's why I'm saying going forward this team will be even better, will be even stronger. The tight unit will be even stronger as well. So yeah, I've got no doubt, you know, in the next World Cup we'll give it a good go.
As Mashimbi has emphasized all tournament long, he says a happy environment within the group has been what has gotten them so far. He also says he's identified the areas that need strengthening when they do return home to make sure they come back even stronger in the next year.
When people are happy in an environment, they're able to do what these girls have done this whole tournament. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding with regards to that in terms of the performances that the girls have put on throughout the tournament as well. But you know, at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. We just have to accept and grow and learn from it and make sure that when we come back and we get another crack at it, we give it a real good go at it.
Well, we'll remain on tennis news. Rather cricket news. Afghanistan have completed a clean sweep in Harare, Zimbabwe. A blistering 159-run opening stand between Ramalua Gubas as well as Ibrahim Zandran laid the foundation for a commanding 9-wicket victory over Zimbabwe in the third and final T20 match. Gubas smashed 92, Zandran added 60, and Sadiq Atal chipped in with a rapid 35 not out as the visitors posted a daunting 210 for the loss of 3 wickets. Zimbabwe showed fight. Brian Bennett's 47 as well as Sikandar Radza's 51 kept hopes alive in a 85-run third wicket stand, but it wasn't enough. The hosts were bowled out for 201 runs on the final ball of the match. Afghanistan take the series 3-0, also sealing it with power, precision and poise. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. The time has just gone 10:36 a.m. Central African Time. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Give us a call as well on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, that was our sports update with Musibudi Makura. We move on to get our business news with Chandu Kolikeke.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning. The South African rand edged higher in the early trade today ahead of the release of a local manufacturing purchasing managers index, PMI survey and vehicle sales numbers for the month of October. Earlier, the rand traded at 17 rand 29 cents against the dollar, rounding up 0.2% on Friday's close. The ABSA PMI print is set to be released today and will shed light on the manufacturing conditions in Africa's most industrialized economy. Economist Dr. Azar Jamin says small businesses are finding it extremely difficult to secure capital. South Africa experienced another spike in business liquidations in September. There was a 23.9% increase in the number of businesses closing down. Dr. Jamin says that big businesses get more support, which contradicts government's goal to boost small businesses.
There is indeed a complete divergence between the oft-stated desire to promote entrepreneurship and small business activity, partly because small businesses proportionately create far more jobs than do big businesses. But in reality, we find that there are huge obstacles to small businesses actually succeeding. And one of these is the fact that they find it extremely difficult to access capital, to borrow money.
Prices for basic commodities have shot up in Tanzania following days of election-related unrest, with fuel prices tripling. President Samia Suluhu Hassan was declared the winner of Wednesday's poll, which the opposition described as a mockery of democracy. The BBC's Akesa Wandera has the details.
Tanzanians are now paying more for basic goods as the country reels from protests that began on Wednesday. Many fuel stations remain closed, especially in the commercial capital, Dar es Salaam. Some believe the shortages are deliberate, aimed at limiting movement and preventing protesters from mobilizing. Shops and markets remain closed in some areas, and food prices have soared for those lucky enough to find supplies. The military remains deployed in several parts of the country where tensions are still high. Movement is restricted and much of the country remains in the dark following an internet and electricity blackout.
A new report by a UN-sponsored organization says high levels of inequality both between and within countries make the world more vulnerable to pandemics. It says pandemics in turn cause more inequality. The report has called on richer countries to invest in healthcare while restructuring debt to allow poorer governments to spend more on healthcare too. In other news, Heineken has pledged to bolster its revenue and cut costs, but investors in the world's number 2 beer maker say tougher steps, including plant closures, may be needed to get its business up to speed. CEO Dolf van den Brinks, at the helm of the $45 billion brewer since 2020, has two key challenges, according to investors and analysts, which include delivering greater efficiency while reviving flagging volume growth. While all brewers have been struggling to sell more beer, the Dutch maker of Amstel and Tiger beers has frustrated some investors with volatile performance and for lagging behind larger rivals. Let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,436 naira, in Botswana 13 pula 70. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 20 Zambia, 22 kwacha 8. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 38, in Russia 79 rubles 55, India 80 rupee 80, China 71.12, South Africa 17 rand 31 cents. $1 is trading at 76 pence to the British pound, 86 to the euro. Commodities, gold is trading at $4,013, platinum at $1,598 per ounce, the price of Brent crude oil at $64.99 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Celebrate life every day. Tune in to Channel Africa. Stay connected through a new website and free mobile app. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry you're fine, gone singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. So mommy, get this one is for you. Oh, I should be a young girl. Be a young girl, swear my lord. Oh, I should be a young girl. Be a young girl, swear my lord. Oh, I should be a young girl. Be a young girl. Oh, yeah, wake up. Yes, you see. Oh, yeah, drink up. You don't need the makeup. Them be vex, them won't make we break up. See, you be my princess. Suffer one, but together we make sense. Worry one knock out we no send. That come as a nonsense. Take this ring, oh, be with me for better, for worse, so I go love you tomorrow, titi life forever beyond, oh. You know that I got you. Anything where you want, I go buy too. Oh yeah, she be a young girl. Sure, my darling. Good morning, baby, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, come singing this for you. My Sherry, tell me how you do. be JJ. If we born boy, it go be AJ. I am never kudu meje. And if your love is a crime, I go jail. See from here to London. Unwrap you, I lick you like Tom Tom. I go love you even for junction. You got my attention. Your loving you put me at ease. I swear you they give me peace. Capture my heart, you they cure my disease. Love me, never leave me, please. You know that I got you. Anything where you want, I go buy too. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Surete, my darling. Good morning, almost there, baby. Me, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My chérie, tell me how you do. So mommy, I'm gonna get this one is for you. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Surete, my darling. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Surete, my darling. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get. When you hold me, I can feel your heartbeat. You set my body and my soul and my emotions free. And this is real, my fantasies you make fulfill. Good morning, almost there, baby, me, how you do? Sorry, you're fine, gone singing this for you. My chérie, tell me how you do. So mommy, I'm gonna get this one is for you. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Surete, my darling. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get. Surete, my darling. Oh yeah, baby, I don't get. Be I don't get.
It's Brimo. Good morning. And yes, it is actually a very good morning. I'm so glad to be back here on air speaking to all of you, wherever you are on the continent, in the diaspora, and anywhere else in the world. You know, sometimes I think about the name of my home country, South Africa. And a lot of people are like, is it actually a name? Like, my name is Palesa. It has meaning. It means flower. It is an actual name. But sometimes if you think about the name South Africa, it's just okay, we are in the south of Africa, the southernmost tip of Africa. It's like a geographic direction, not particularly a name, you know what I mean? And so many things on the African continent were named in particular ways, and some of them were quite influenced by colonialism, right? And why things were named in a particular way. And so I came across this particular video, a conversation that Egyptian feminist writer, activist, and physician Naval El Sadawi was having in an interview, and this actually raised some intrigue from me, and probably might raise some intrigue for you too. Listen to this.
In the Middle East, and
not Middle East,
but
please.
You did not
not
mention,
Middle East.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Okay, but let me finish. And
no.
then
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The minute I hear Middle East, I become upset because this is a colonial language.
What should
it's like third word, like post-colonial. Middle East. What? Middle to who? You have to ask yourself. We learn.
What is the term to be
I tell
used?
you, just wait, patience. Knowledge comes from you ask yourself why. Who called that? Why we are called Middle East? We were named, and we have to study history. We were named Middle East because we were a British colony. So Egypt was Middle East relative to London. And India was called Far East relative to London because India was also a colony. So now, when I go to London, I say I go to the Middle West. And people laugh. When I go to the United States, I say I'm going to the Far West. And people even laugh. But when she say Middle East, nobody laugh. You see? That's colonialism. That's colonial language that we need to decolonize the language.
Well, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
Yes, she's right. Completely right.
Yeah. But we still use these terms every day. That's the thing. I don't think a lot of us are actually going deeper into understanding some of the terms we call ourselves. Some might say a term like sub-Saharan Africa could also be like racially charged and demeaning, while some say, hey, it's just a geographical term. Are we really looking into the things that we call ourselves or that we've been called, that we now refer to ourselves as, that aren't really as they should be anymore? And is there any point of changing this since it's already a norm?
It's tricky because what would you call South Africa?
Yeah.
Because what is a name that would embrace all the cultures of South Africa? Because if you start naming South Africa in an African sense, then you're going to go into the language debate.
I think one country that has actually done this quite successfully is Eswatini, which used to be called.
But they only have one language.
They only have one language, correct. Yeah. But I think that, sometimes we think, but anyway, what's the point of changing the name of your country? You'd have to change it on the maps, you'd have to change it here and there. But I was actually quite surprised to see how Eswatini did that quite beautifully, which was once called Swaziland. And then they just decided, okay, from now on, we are calling ourselves Eswatini because we are not Swaziland. And they've done that quite successfully. And I'm still shocked to this day because, how do you change that on maps? How do you actually get people to call you that? They've been able to do it. So can we change things like Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East, and the likes?
Yeah, I think South Africa is a difficult one,
It
right?
is,
Because we've got like 13, 14 languages here, and we also have subcultures there. We've got a lot of people from the African continent. So what would you call it? You'd have to be really inventive and investigative around it. You'd have to do real good research to accommodate everyone in a country such as ours, because you can't call it Afrika Borwa.
Well, it is called Afrika Borwa. It can be South Africa is English.
Yes, it is called that, but that's a language.
It is.
That's my point.
But South Africa is a language too. It's in English.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. What would you call it though? If you could come up with a name.
I don't have one on this one. Because I think you have to accommodate everyone in a country when you name its identity.
Yeah.
It has to be inclusive. So naming a country really has to have that energy around it.
There were people who say they used to call it Azania. That's not even it's not a language in any of our 13 or 14 significant languages here in South Africa. Anyway, what do you think about that one? Let us know at Channel Africa 1. Engage with us. We'd love to hear from you. It's 10:53 Central Africa time.
Ready to connect, innovate, and be inspired? It's all happening at Africa Tech Festival, where Africa's technology meets the world. From the 10th to the 13th of November in Cape Town, join global leaders, investors, and innovators driving the future of Africa's digital economy. Don't miss the continent's biggest week in tech. Get your pass now at africatechfestival.com.
Madapiri pazoshitika. Madapiri pazoshitika.
Ainogeka zingeni chihana lumbiritsidwa kukhala wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko la Malawi pa mwambo omwe unachitika ku nyumba ya chifumu ya Sanjika mu mzinda wa Blantyre. Ndiye pano tili ndi olemekezeka achihana. Takulandirani olemekezeka pano pa wireless ya Channel Africa pa Chinyanja Service. Amalawi ayembekezere zotani kuchokera kwa inu ngati wachiwiri winaso kwa president wa dzikolo?
Choyamba ngati vice president umagwira ntchito yopatsidwa ndi president imene yakuganizira. Ndiye malowozi athu atipatsa bwinobwino, koma ntchito yathu yayikulu ndi kuwathandiza president kuti masomphenya awo yakwanitsidwe. Pali zambiri zoti zichitike, nkhani ya njala mdziko muno, boma la udakali chimanga ndi china chomwe chili mdziko muno kuti tithandize ana families are affected. Chachiwiri kunali ma fuel shortages amene akanaliponso apo ndi apo, tionetsetse kuti pumps athu asakhale dry.
Zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo, lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madapiri.
Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong. She in my feast with the big boys. She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong, make her enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss, I'm a enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss.
Big boy, yeah, she let her call me Poppy. Late at night, yeah, she ride it like a Harley. Anything you want just to make you happy. Dinner time, yeah, chew it like a chappy. Damn piece on my side like I'm over. Lucky, lucky like a 4-leaf clover. Kill it, dumb till it's over. Love drunk, baby, give me hangover. You know the vibe is so fine, I cannot control my eye. And I no reply when the streets hit me up, I know be shy. Baby, you a dream, forever my queen.
She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong. She in my feast with the big boy. She wanna chill with the big boys. She want money, she want enjoy. When she with me, give her ding dong, make her enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss, I'm a enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. With a big boy, I'm a big boy, enjoy. Give her big fuss, yeah. Bébé, qu'est-ce que tu fais, dis-moi tu es prêt, Je veux expliquer, give me couple seconds. I go pick you in a phantom, we can go to Santon. I go drop a couple racks on you cause you a bad fool. If you better for me, that's all me. Your love for me. If you better for me, that's all me. Your love for me.
Hey, the big boys are on this one. Manu World Star, Tiani Africa, and Vuga M. That one takes us to 57 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. Hey, we keep moving. It's a bit of a wintry Johannesburg today. Very wet outside and a lot of traffic on a Monday.
And I'm like, why am I back here? Why? It's cold.
I thought you were happy to be back.
I am, but not the weather. Not with the weather. I'm happy to be here in the studio, but not with the Johannesburg weather.
Yeah, so it is a good day. Of course, it's warm in our Johannesburg studios. You can join us in this live stream right in our studios at the SABC. Remember, we are live on those live streams on YouTube. Check out the Channel Africa handle at Channel Africa 1, and you can easily find the action in studio. Check Palesa refreshed from a nice long holiday.
Yes.
She didn't take me with. She didn't even pack me in a bag. So yeah, man.
I mean, who was going to stay with everyone here, Ben?
Oh, so it's my duty while you're having fun.
It is your duty. It is your duty.
Yeah. Can you hear that? Are you listening to Pali? So my responsibility
it's for the wellness of the people.
It's for the wellness of you just having a good time without me, basically. That's what you say. It's like I'm leaving you, Ben, and I'm gonna have fun without you while I stay here and work.
Correct, because someone has to hold the fort. Unfortunately, you have to take one for the team.
Yeah. I'm still upset. Still not so happy.
Well, we're moving things right along. You know, when we think about health and fitness, many people are like, "Oh, I'm getting ready for my summer body, guys." It's already summer. Well, in some places, So
over.
Whatever body you give summer is the summer body. By now,
I see Palesa was saying, it's November already. I know she had summer dreams.
I had summer dreams, but now I'm like, you know what? Whatever body I give summer is my summer body, and I'm gonna enjoy the summer with my summer body.
We'll just make it work.
One thing for sure.
We'll just make it work. This is what we have left.
Yeah, on the opposite end, there are so many people also trying to gain weight, and I see that also sort of popping up a lot on the socials. And people are like, why would you do that when the rest of us are trying to do that, the things the other way?
Yeah.
So we're going to be focusing on that for today's fitness and nutrition. It's coming up just in a couple of minutes at the top after the hour. Right now it is the top of the hour. It's 11 o'clock Central Africa time, and Onele Nzinzi is back with our latest news.
SABC News. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Looking at your top stories, Tanzanian president to be sworn in shortly and flight delays affecting airports across the United States. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan will be sworn in shortly for a second term following an election marred by violent protests and rejected by the opposition as a sham. The inauguration ceremony is being held at a military parade grounds in the capital, Dodoma, in an event closed to the public but broadcast live by the state-run TBC. Samia was declared winner on Saturday with 98% of the vote. She faced little opposition, with key rival candidates either imprisoned or barred from running. International observers have raised concern about the transparency of the election and its violent aftermath, with hundreds of people reportedly killed and injured. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has convened a closed-door meeting with leaders of the Government of National Unity in Johannesburg, South Africa. The talks aim to resolve recent disagreements and accusations within the coalition. The GNU clearinghouse, led by the Deputy President Paul Mashatile, was established earlier this year to iron out policy differences amongst the 10 parties. The Democratic Alliance MP and national spokesperson Karabo Kakao explains.
The relationship between GNU partners can be healthier. The ANC, knowing that they're not in government alone, so it is important to ensure that as a result of that understanding, all political parties within the GNU are able to form a circle around the same table, discuss robustly and honestly on what the modus operandi of government is going to be as far as policy and government objectives are, and that decisions, big decisions that take place as far as the direction of the GNU are concerned, are on a matter of consensus, as is the case with the statement of intent which we signed and committed ourselves to.
South Africa's former African National Congress Party President Thabo Mbeki says factionalism and careerism are the biggest threats to its survival. Mbeki has called for complete renewal of all party members, including re-application for membership and stricter vetting of leaders across all provinces. He says there are anti-revolutionary forces within the party and that change must begin at branch level.
The issue then that is raised about renewal becomes very critically important in terms of the survival of the movement. And in a sense takes priority over everything else. Because without this instrument, the ANC, we're unable to solve any of our problems. Not a single major problem will solve without this organization called the ANC. Properly organized, ethical, strong, and all of that.
Sudan's Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has confirmed the withdrawal of his forces from the last stronghold in Darfur. This comes as the United Nations sounds the alarm over reports of fresh atrocities by the paramilitary rapid support forces now in full control of the city of El Fasher. Naba Mohiuddin reports.
Refugee agency says more than 60,000 people have fled Al Fasher since the city fell. Doctors Without Borders warned that RSF are blocking displaced people from reaching safety, worsening an already dire humanitarian situation. Aid agencies say insecurity around Al Fasher is making it nearly impossible to deliver help. The Sudanese government now is urging the UN Security Council to designate RSF as a terrorist group, accusing them of receiving military and financial support from the United Arab Emirates, claims the UAE has denied.
And lastly, flight delays are affecting airports across the United States as the government shuts down continue in a second month. There were disruptions yesterday for travelers in New York, Texas, and Chicago. More than 10,000 air traffic controllers have been working without pay throughout the shutdown, but some are choosing to call in sick. The BBC's Peter Bowes reports.
Potentially, it could be the longest shutdown, and the impact is really being felt now across the country, especially by travellers. This is affecting airports right across the country, and it seems that as every day goes by, that situation is getting worse because more and more air traffic controllers who are government workers forced to go to work without pay, they are becoming fatigued, and it is affecting them in terms of stress and sometimes trying to do the jobs of two people when they are at work, and many of them are calling in sick.
Now recapping on your top stories, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan will be sworn in shortly for a second term following an election marred by violent protests and rejected by the opposition as a sham. Now, for any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinsi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Onele. We are moving on into the third hour of the show. You can also expect those regular news updates. Our news team is doing a fantastic job keeping us updated on our latest news, the sports, as well as what's going on in business. So we will get a sports update from Musibudi Makura and a business update from Chanduko Ligege a little later on in this hour. We're going into fitness and nutrition though, and a lot of the conversations that we have around body image and, weight in particular is with the majority, right? Most people say, oh, I can't wait to lose weight. It's going to be healthier for me to lose some weight. I'm going to look better if I lose some weight. However, this particular conversation is not one-dimensional. There is actually quite a number of people on the other side of this conversation who struggle to gain weight. Some people can be underweight or just for aesthetic or body positivity reasons. Some people say, yeah, I don't like being in this particular look or figure, and I would like to gain a little bit of weight. It sounds easy, right? Because most of us who want to lose weight say, yeah, I mean, losing or gaining weight is quite easy. Just eat and then I gain weight. It's losing weight that's actually quite difficult. But for those on the other side, it's actually not so easy. So we'll be chatting to our guest in this hour of the show, a registered dietitian, to speak about healthy ways of gaining weight, because that can also be quite a big conversation. Not just eating everything and putting on the calories, but there are very strategic and healthy ways that this can be approached, and that's what we'll be looking at in this hour.
Hey man, there's so many ways that you can stay engaged with us right here on Channel Africa. Remember, our website is there, it's fresh, so go to www.channelafrica.co.za. There's a lot of updated things in terms of the latest news on the African continent. We've got our podcasts there, but most importantly, we have you to connect with. So www.channelafrica.co.za is also a place where you can check us live.
Say you
like you. I really, really like you. It's Una Rams. I like you. It's 10 minutes past 11 Central Africa time. Going into fitness and nutrition after this.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126. And we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am,
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views, share your opinion, engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect. Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
Most of the conversations that we have around body image and nutrition focus a lot on losing weight, right? But actually, there are so many people who quietly struggle with the opposite, trying to gain healthy weight, build strength, or overcome some of those social stigmas that are tied to being really slim. And being sometimes a naturally slim person can bring its own unsolicited advice from people saying, you look kind of scrawny, especially here on the African continent where...
And you're like, Ben, do not call me scrawny.
Yes, Ben has called me that. I'm like, that is not a thing. You should not. Don't ever call me scrawny again.
I only knew because you told me that that's not a nice word.
That is not a nice word at all. And so many of these people, especially on the continent, right? Different places in the world have different like body images or the way that they like. And here in Africa, we like to say, women need to be like voluptuous and you have to be curvy. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when it comes to like body image, there are people who are like, I'd like to gain a little bit of weight because I want to look a particular way. Or sometimes you can actually be quite unhealthily small and you need to gain weight for your own health as well. So we're looking at that, right? The struggle of gaining weight, but also how to gain weight safely and build strength. Joining us on the line to have this conversation is registered dietitian Talia Pillay. Talia, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Palesa. Good morning, Benjamin. Thank you so much for having me and to talk about something that isn't really spoken about very often.
Yeah, that's so true. Nobody really speaks about it because every time we think about body goals, every time we think about why people are going to the gym, we're like, yes, we're all going to lose weight and we're all going to look great in our bikinis and our mankinis when December comes and we go on holidays for the brave ones, of course, not the likes of Ben. No. But nobody actually speaks about those who struggle with gaining weight. But who would this be?
Okay, so you're right. We often talk about losing weight, and it's such a big topic everywhere that we see, whether it's social media, etc. But there's so many people who don't share their journey of wanting to gain weight. And really, you are looking at people who sometimes genetically are naturally more slender or slimmer than those. They have a higher metabolism, so they burn and process foods a lot quicker. So they don't store fat the same way that we do. And then there's, of course, people who have health issues who don't allow them. And I think that's don't allow them to gain weight. And I think that's the whole stigma within the continent of Africa, right? Is that if you are slim, you are sickly. But some people have genuine health issues that don't allow them to gain weight. And then, of course, sometimes people are just on medications that suppress their appetite, doesn't allow them to gain weight. And not everyone has the same level of appetite regulation. That all of us are different in the way our appetite is regulated.
Mm-hmm. And what would that process be like, trying to gain weight? I'm sure it must be also difficult because you were highlighting that even the metabolism works faster. It probably is a lot of hard work, and it's not just about eating a lot, right?
Yeah, that's right. You hit the nail on the head there, Ben. It's not just about eating a lot. It's, we can all eat a lot, but it's about what we actually put into our bodies, right? People have this misconception, oh, I'm thin, I can eat whatever. But whether you're thin or whether you're overweight or a normal weight, what you eat determines the results you're going to see. And sometimes just eating whatever means that you are predisposed to, chronic diseases of lifestyle, even though you might be thin. But it is a very slow, gradual process, and it requires a lot of consistency and patience, just like anything else when it comes to living healthily. You really want to look at eating the right foods, eating nutrient dense foods that are high energy and high protein, but still healthy enough that's not going to cause a buildup of unhealthy fats or unhealthy carbohydrates. Because anyone can eat more, right? It's about what you're eating that is so important.
A lot of us think that the gaining of the weight is usually the easy part, simply because many of us, when we just start to consume more food or eat in unhealthy patterns, will automatically start gaining weight. But for those who do need to gain weight or want to gain weight for their own particular reasons, you mentioned quite a couple a few minutes ago, it's not just as easy as like packing on, making your plate bigger or putting in more food. There are those who've tried to do that and still haven't achieved that weight gain goal. So how do you actually go about this? Where do you start if you're starting to gain weight?
So I would say you started looking, what are you currently eating? I think a lot of people assume they're eating enough, but they're not actually eating enough. I know calories is a big word, and everyone's either counting calories or it's really daunting or it's really easy to sum. But it's really about how much am I putting in, how much energy am I putting into my body, how much calories am I putting in, and how much I'm expending. Looking at what you currently eating. Are you eating enough for your body? Looking at what is your appetite like. I think a lot of people just assume, oh, if I eat big volume, I'm going to get in. But sometimes your appetite is only going to allow for you to eat like 6 more meals a day. And it has to be something that fits into like a person's lifestyle. So you're trying to gain weight, but what is realistic for you? What do you like? What don't you like? Because gaining weight is about eating a variety of foods. That's what's so important, right? And it's also about making sure that if you are struggling with your appetite or you're struggling to eat in volume, how can you make your smaller meals more nutrient dense? Whether it is adding something like nuts and seeds to our meals or adding in a little bit more protein to our meals, finding ways to supplement our meals. I know people talk about this is like a lot of people taking protein shakes, but
Sure.
also using these like protein shakes or supplements to help to actually do this. Because if you're somebody that says, well, I can eat 3 meals a day, but the snacks in between are a bit difficult. Okay, how can we make it more doable for you so that it doesn't feel like you're eating three
Mhm.
meals again? You're eating actually 3 meals, 3 snacks, and it's dense enough for
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Talia, I mean, do you stop exercising? Because one would say, you know what, I just need to gain that weight. So what's the point of going to the gym?
No, definitely not. Research actually shows that exercise can actually help to stimulate your appetite. But remember, when we're gaining weight isn't just about seeing a number on the scale. We don't want people to just gain fat mass, right? Because then it's going to predispose them to, like I said, like diseases of lifestyle, chronic diseases of lifestyle. So, yes, you will gain some fat mass, but your exercises like your weight training, your strength trainings, etc., those can actually really help to build muscle mass. And this can, yes, it might speed up your metabolism, but it also will help to regulate your appetite, but also help you do something with the extra energy you're putting into your body, right? So it's not just about gaining weight and letting it all be fat mass. It's about gaining weight and letting it become muscle mass. Because especially for like females, for example, where muscle mass is so important for maintaining good bone health and preventing osteoporosis, we want to make sure that we are actually gaining the muscle mass. So, no, definitely wouldn't encourage anyone to stop exercising.
All right, Talia, we need to take a quick break. There's been this trend from what I've seen with people who are trying to gain weight, and it seems like people are only eating oats. Oats with everything.
Oh, wow. Really?
So I want to come back
Oats
and
with
see
everything?
oats with everything. So I want to see if this is the right approach, because people are swearing by eating oats if you want to gain weight. But what are other nutritious foods that you can actually bring into your diet if you are on that weight gaining journey? We're chatting to registered dietitian Talia Pele, speaking about gaining weight in a healthy way.
The voice of the continent, now online, with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more. Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
On the move and connect with us.
Hey, our mobile app is right online, so do check it out on every app store. Just check out Channel Africa. You can listen to us on your phone. That's a great, exciting way to listen to Channel Africa. Let's continue our fitness conversation with our guest today, and we are speaking to Talia Pillay, a registered dietitian, speaking on those who are not trying to lose weight, but trying to gain weight. Hey, yeah, this world, it's got a lot of things. Well,
There's a, you know,
it's
when
like,
you
can
guys
I
are
be
trying
them?
to, yeah.
Can I be you?
Let's just change places.
But it is a serious thing, because sometimes it's about body image, but sometimes it's about real health issues that should be considered while you are gaining weight. Talia, you were speaking about the importance of actually keeping an exercise routine. What kind of exercise routine do you maintain? Because you don't want to go too hard as well, because you don't want to lose the reason why you are trying to even change your diet. So what would you advise for the motion to be when you are at the gym?
So the guidelines do state that we should be getting at least 90 minutes of exercise a week. So that exercise can come in the form of whether it is walking. It doesn't need to be, this high intensity exercise, because I think people often associate, like, I think in this day and age, there's this association of exercise to be really high intensity. But it can be something as simple as like weight training, which builds your muscles, improving. We want to exercise to ensure we have good cardiovascular health. So going for a walk, whether it's a 30-minute or 45-minute walk that isn't intense like a run, you can do that. And even if you had to run, as long as you are putting in your calories, what you expend, you putting it back in to ensure that there's no calorie deficit to prevent further weight loss. You want to ensure there's a calorie surplus to ensure that you're actually gaining that weight. So any exercise is good for you, any exercise at all. But for this particular one, for gaining weight in particular, I would definitely say your strength training, moderate exercises like your walking or your joggings. And if they want to do like moderate cardio exercises like your swimming, your cycling, you don't have to do it at a very intense level.
Let's chat a little bit about the kinds of food we should be eating. I've been seeing it trending everywhere. For gaining weight, you have to eat oats in the morning, pack on the oats, put in a lot of dairy products in there, and just go in with the oats. Is this the right way? Or are there other foods that you should be incorporating into your diet in this journey?
If I had to give one food an award for being that food that is always there for whatever health craze or trend it is, it has to be oats,
It's
right?
definitely, yes.
We always find you want to lose weight, eat oats.
Yeah, you want to gain weight, eat oats.
Eat oats, exactly. But it is such an incredibly versatile food. Something that's so interesting is that cereals within South Africa and Africa are often fortified with stuff like vitamins, minerals, iron. So many people don't actually know this, that they have additional micronutrients added to it. And when you are underweight, you tend to lack these micronutrients. But why oats in the morning or oats whenever is such a versatile food is because it really allows you to modify it, right? You have oats, you boil it, or if you use instant oats, but it allows you to use something like a full cream milk to add on some fats and protein and calories to it. And then you can kind of do whatever you want with it. You can add in peanut butter and chopped up fruit, sprinkle some seeds on top. Or people are doing overnight oats where they do like some chia seeds, oats, Greek yogurt, and you can add some whey protein to it. So it allows you to create this breakfast that is a lot more calorie and nutrient dense. And because it doesn't really have a particular taste, I want to say, you can modify it to your taste. So you can make it a bit sweet, add fruits in, do baked oats where you make like, you bake some berries in it with yogurt and then you pop it into your oven or air fryer, you bake it. You can have a cold breakfast, you can have a warm breakfast, you can feel like you're having like a little treat with it. So there's so much that you can do with oats, and that's why we see everyone sharing recipes that has oats in it.
That's interesting, right? And let's keep with the theme of nutrition. In
Mhm.
terms of the healthy fats to incorporate into your diet, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah. So fats are actually such a great way to add more like energy density because fats are so high in energy, right? So a really great way is that if you use like a margarine, for example, or even if you use butter for that matter, we want to stay away from too much of saturated fats. And that's more stuff like your fried foods, your too much of butter. But you can actually use your fats as a great way to really fortify your meal. So something like if you're having, let's say you're having maybe some protein and rice, you can add maybe like a teaspoon of margarine, and that's just going to increase the like the calorie density of your meal.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to do a salad dressing, you can use your olive oils. You can use, yeah, like your olive oil or any of your oils to create that dressing. And then your nuts and seeds, your peanut butters, those fall under fats as well, and you can really use those to increase the density but not increase the quantity of your meal.
Hmm. That's interesting. And let's talk a little bit also about, you know, when do you know you've gained enough? Because sometimes you can keep going and going and going, but then,
Yeah.
you can lose kind of the reason why you're doing this.
Yeah, so it's all about, so I would definitely say at that point, if you're unsure whether you're at a healthy weight or unhealthy weight, I would definitely say at that point, contact a healthcare professional like your dietitian because they can sit with you or even go calculate your BMI. And I say this with a pinch of salt because sometimes the BMI will say that you are overweight, even though you are very muscular. And technically, that isn't overweight because it is a healthy weight to be at. So you can contact like a dietitian. You can do obviously a full body analysis where they look at how much muscle mass and how much fat mass you have. And these body composition scales and services are actually so common now and available so much more. But also standing on the scale, looking at the way your clothes fit you, looking at your body, there's so many telltale signs. When you look at your body, you know whether, okay, is my tummy looking a bit too big, or is this unhealthy, or am I actually healthy? You see the difference in the weight that we have on our body, whether it is too much of fat mass or too little, or if it's more muscle mass. And I think you also know telltale signs by your body. You know how you feel. If you're increasing too much of fat mass, you start to feel a bit more like sluggish, your energy levels are a little bit lower. Um, you'll know the telltale signs of your body. Whereas if you have more muscle mass, you feel a bit stronger, your energy levels are a bit more up. So, yeah.
Is there a sweet spot, Talia? And I say this because on both ends, whether you want to, gain weight or lose weight, but particularly when it comes to this gaining weight journey, is there a sweet spot that one should be looking at? And how do you gauge that? Because obviously we're not registered dietitians and we're not doctors either. So we don't really understand the impact that some of these things may have on our health itself.
That's such a good question, Palesa. Healthy looks and feels different for everybody. I will always say this, and it's all about go through different phases of our lives, and our bodies are impacted by so many changes. Whether it is hormones, stress, our body changes at each stage of our life, which is normal, which is what we experience, right? So I think that what's important is that the sweet spot depends on where you're at in life right now, where you feel good and where you feel confident. There's so much information that's available out there now, so many people who share their journey. There's so much stuff that you can research for yourself, but you yourself as a person know what a sweet spot is. I think the sweet spot is when you've gained a healthy amount of weight, but whatever you're doing is sustainable to you, and you can continue doing that, where you are eating a variety of foods that are balanced, you are exercising at least 90 minutes a week, and you are gaining steady and appropriate weight. I think that's the big thing, is that too much weight gain or even too much weight loss isn't good. It's all
Yeah.
about steadiness and consistency, and that is the sweet spot.
Well, thank you so much. This conversation was definitely a sweet spot. Thank you for joining us, Talia. It was really great to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Benjamin and Palesa, for having me on to talk about something that's not very common, and I
Yeah.
hope we help some people today.
It's a pleasure.
That's registered dietitian Talia Palesa helping us in today's fitness and nutrition, chatting about how to gain weight safely but also in a healthy way. It's 11:30 Central Africa time. Let's bring back Musibudi Makura for our latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Palesa. Very good morning once again from the sports desk. So the New York City Marathon made history on Sunday, with the course record set in the women's competition, and then the closest race ever in the men's side, which was decided by a fraction of a second. So Helen Obiri of Kenya broke the women's record, while compatriot Benson Kipruto won the men's race by edging Alexander Mutiso by 300ths of a second. So Kipruto as well as Mutiso separated themselves from the chasing pack in the men's race heading into the 24th kilometer. Kipruto, who was running the New York Marathon for the very first time, finished in a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Obiri, meanwhile, who also won this race back in 2023, finished in 2 hours, 19 minutes and 51 seconds. She was running with a 2022 winner Sharon Lokedi until Obiri pulled away from her countrymate in the final kilometer, surging ahead and winning easily by 16 seconds to beat the previous course record of 2 hours, 22 minutes and 31 seconds that was set by Margaret Ogayo back in 2003. So it's a big day today for African football. The Confederation African Football CAF has confirmed the draw procedure for the group stages of tonight's Total Energies CAF Champions League, as well as the CAF Confederation Cup. That ceremony taking place tonight and will be taking place in Johannesburg, right here in South Africa. Now, 16 teams have advanced from the second preliminary round and will be engaged in the official group stage draw, which will see them divided into 4 groups of 4 teams. Now, the teams are being seeded based on their performance in CAF interclub competitions from over the past 3 seasons. On to some cricket news now. Afghanistan have completed a clean sweep of Harare, or rather in Harare, a blistering 159-run opening stand between Ramaluha Gubaz and Ibrahim Zadran laid the foundation for a commanding 9-run victory over Zimbabwe in the third and final T20 match yesterday. Gubaz smashed 92, Zadran added 60 runs, while Salig Atal chipped in with a rapid 35 not out as the visitors posted a daunting 210 for the loss of 3 wickets in their 20 allotted overs. Now, Zimbabwe showed fight. Brian Bennett's 47 and Sakanda Radze's 51 kept hopes alive with an 85-run third wicket stand, but it wasn't enough. The hosts were then bowled out for 201 runs on the final ball of the match. Afghanistan take the series 3-0, sealing it with power, precision, as well as poise. On to some tennis news now. Yannick Sinner beat Felix Auger-Aliassime to win his first Paris Masters title and then reclaim the world #1 ranking from rival Carlos Alcaraz. Now, Sinner's 6-4, 7-6 victory over the Canadian extended his winning streak on indoor hard courts to 26 matches, a run that now stretches back to 2023 at the Davis Cup finals. Now, the win lifted the 24-year-old Italian 250 points above Alcaraz in the rankings before the season-ending ATP finals that are set to begin on the 9th of this month. Sinner's victory ensures the race for the year-end world #1 ranking will go down to the final tournament of the season, a fitting end to a year where his rivalry with Alcaraz has now reached greater heights. Now, the pair has now won 8 of the past Grand Slam tournaments between them and remain on a different level to the rest of the men's tour. This is what Sinner had to say after winning his first Paris Masters title.
Yeah, it was a very high quality match. He was serving incredibly well when I had a couple of break chances in the second set, but has been an amazing run. Vienna and here, super happy, and of course now we are looking forward to Turin, but I also want to enjoy this moment. It's a very special day.
Meanwhile, Aryna Sabalenka celebrated securing a year-end world #1 ranking with a crushing victory over Yasmin Paolini at the WTA finals. Now, the US Open Sabalenka was quite impressive on serve following a 6-3, 6-1 win over the fatigued Italian in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia yesterday. So the victory over the world #8 Paolini was Sabalenka's 60th win of the year and her 12th over a top 10 opponent. Belarusian Sabalenka has now spent 63 weeks in total at the top of the world rankings, including 55 in a row since October of last year. So she was then asked yesterday about what it means now to conclude the year as the world #1, and this is how she answered that question.
Oh, that feels super special. Of course, I'm super happy and super proud of the work that have been done, and that things are working, and I'm getting better and better every day. And I just hope that we're gonna keep doing what we are doing, and hopefully we can stay there.
All right, so that concludes your morning sports news right here on Channel Africa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Give us a call as well on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Wake up with gratitude, hope, and the African spirit. Channel Africa, now easier to access than ever before. WhatsApp us on +27 63 406 9126. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Thank you, Musibudi. Once again, Chandu Goligege is back with our latest business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning. Mozambique's President Daniel Chapo has indicated that his government may challenge the revised budget and timeline submitted by French energy giant Total Energies for its liquefied natural gas LNG project in the country. The company recently informed President Chapo that the Mozambique LNG Consortium now expects project costs to have risen by $4.5 billion following a 4-year suspension triggered by an Islamist militant attack in 2021. Channel Africa's economist reporter Innocent Simosa.
Total Energies and its partners want the development and production period extended by 10 years as partial compensation. Looking at cost implications, but how might the proposed $4.5 billion increase in project costs affect Mozambique's projected revenues and broader economic benefits from the LNG project?
South Africa's manufacturing sentiment deteriorated in October, dragged down by subdued domestic demand and sluggish exports. The seasonally adjusted PMI, sponsored by South African bank Absa, fell to 49.2 points in October from 50.8 in September, highlighting the fragility of the manufacturing recovery. A reading below 50 indicates decreased activity. The business activity sub-index dropped by 5 points to 49.4, marking the 9th month this year it has been in contractionary territory. The South African rand edged higher in early trade today ahead of the release of a local manufacturing purchasing managers index survey and vehicle sales numbers for the month of October. Earlier, the rand traded at 17 rand 29 cents against the dollar, roughly up 0.2% on Friday's close. In other news, a report by a UN-sponsored organization says high levels of inequality both between and within countries make the world more vulnerable to pandemics. It says pandemics in turn cause more inequality. The report has called on richer countries to invest in healthcare while restructuring debt to allow poorer governments to spend more on healthcare too. France's manufacturing sector contracted less than initially reported in October, but remained in a state of weakness during the opening month of the fourth quarter, as output and new orders saw further marked decreases. The final HCOB France Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index (PMI) compiled by S&P Global rose to 48.8 last month from 48.2 in September and was also up versus the 48.3 flash figure. Aside from August in 2025 when it stood at 50.4, the manufacturing PMI index has remained below the 50.0 threshold that separates growth from contraction since January 2023. Now let's have a look at financial indicators. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,436 naira. In Botswana is 13 pula 70. Kenya, the dollar is 128 shilling 20. Zambia 22 kwacha 8. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 38. In Russia 79 rubles 55. India 80 rupee 80. China 71.12, South Africa 17 rand 31 cents. $1 is 76 pence to the British pound, 87 to the euro. Commodities, gold is at $4,013, platinum at $1,598 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $64.99 a barrel. That is all from me. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chemane.
I've witnessed something fresh, something exciting, and something very inspirational from the president of the country, William Ruto. Whenever athletes are performing to their best level, he always comes on board to reward those athletes, be it football, be it athletics, and not leaving it up to the sport ministry.
The president realizes that sports is a business, and for that reason, he also reduces the number of people who are jobless, because sports now is such a serious business, and for that reason, commercialization of sports is a major way of improving or increasing employment opportunities for the young people, and that is why the president has been very persistent in trying as much as possible to inspire more sports personalities to reduce the baggage of the people who are struggling to get job opportunities in the country among the young people.
Francis F.M. Motegi, our correspondent from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Channel Africa and you have got something in common. The thirst for knowledge.
Phuma nankosi ndiyaphuma ndifihle kwingozi nentsha nayo yonke imimoya thatha indawo njengosomandla sindisa impilo yami kwababantu abalunganga kuba namhlanje ndibonile uba silwe nenyanga silwa nemimoya namhlanje ndibonile uba asilwe nabantu thina silwa nemimoya asilwe nabantu thina
sibanjwe moyeni ezimfazwe sizibonileyo aziqali namhlanje siqale moyeni ngobe moyeni kuyaliwa emoyeni 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 kuyaliwa asiri na bantu asiri na bantu silwale mimoya asiri na bantu asiri na bantu silwale mimoya 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 silwale mimoya.
The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Nakusia uyashike kwa kiapo, fikiri sana dunia kitendo ukifanyapo, sababu imepotea potea kwa wengi sasa haipo. Dunia pale mahala ilipo, sababu imepotea potea kwa wengi sasa haipo. Kisani yako tumia pale mahala ilipo, wengi watafurahia wakati uifanyapo, shukurani watatoa na sifa ingawa hupo. Hisani yako tumia pale mahala ilipo, sababu imepotea potea kwa wengi sasa haipo. ukitambua ya kuwa hapa haipo. Ubora kupa kimbia, wempuke mahala hapo. Usende kuangamia.
This one is titled Hisani Nakusia by the Lucky Star Musical Club. It's 11:50 Central Africa time. Well, our On The Move poll is still up and running. So if you want to have your say before we say goodbye, hurry on to our X handle. That's at Channel Africa 1 and take part in today's On The Move poll.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800-428-428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Channel Africa.
Your Africa, your voice, your channel. Channel Africa.
The African perspective.
Can't believe it's real. I see you lost the feel of how we used to be in love so passionately. This has no guarantee. This has no guarantee. You test my heart to see how far my love will reach. This is so hard to face. Our home has lost the grace, and if I let you stay, then the price I'll pay. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. So why do you treat me like I mean nothing?
It's Monewa Yegelela is what we're giving you before we say goodbye here as the On The Move team. But we don't say that before bringing in Lulu Gabu to let us know what's coming up on today's Africa Update. Good morning, Lulu.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You know, you just come in like nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes,
Nothing happened. I'm here now.
I know.
I'm here now.
Yes. All right. It's a happy Monday.
Yeah.
A lot coming up on Africa Update. You know, the Madlanga Commission is still on. It's ongoing. And what's interesting is one of the police officers that testified, I think sometime last week, if I'm not mistaken, was asked to return. And I think the response from the attorneys, from the attorneys there, I think they basically said he may return, but he is going to consult with his lawyers because he was kind of implicated in something. Yeah. So I just got the tail enders, and I thought, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is now an interesting fact about the Madlanga Commission. And then also we focus on a number of stories. U.S. President Donald Trump at it again, with regards to the Nigeria statement. And we're going to unpack and find out exactly what it is that Donald Trump said, because there are some denials here and there. And there we're going to be focusing on that story. And then also we go to Tunisia. A Tunisian court has sentenced a prominent government critic and a former judge to 5 years in prison, convicting him on charges linked to comments seen as threatening the judiciary. So all that and more coming up on Africa Update. And an interesting one is also the fact that tomorrow the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee is going to be the person testifying is the other Deputy Minister, Bushielo. She's going to be testifying, and the day after that will be the Minister, Kachalia. So there's a lot happening on the ground in South Africa.
And just going to witness on something that he's never really experienced. He's only been there for
remember when he came in, he demanded that those files be brought back from Mkwanazi and his team. So there's a lot that's going to unfold and with regards to this particular case, because it seems like it's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lulu. We're looking forward to the Africa Update. Hopefully you are too, so stay right here on Channel Africa. It's been great and it's good to be back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this past 3 hours. We'll be back again tomorrow as the On The Move team. Have yourself a great day.
God bless everybody.